Hey, what's going on, everyone? New World Order Survival Guy here, ready to talk to you about a prepper's most overlooked essential. Now, can you guess what it is? I am talking about survival dentistry. Dentistry is so overlooked. I never hear it anywhere, but yet it's so important. You talk about something that it goes pretty deep. Everybody hears about medical, and you should have your medical supplies and be up on your first aid and stuff like that. But none of that consists of dental emergencies or dental treatment at all. Now, I'm no dentist or nothing like that. So, this is something that you guys are going to have to look into in a deeper aspect of this topic. So there are books. Um, there's books of all sorts of, all varieties of survival books and medical, medicinal, um, all sorts. It's the dentistry that you don't really see too much of. You get a cavity or something like you got to remember you're going to be in a survival situation where you're not going to be able to have access obviously to any medical or dental if it comes down to shit hitting the fan, but you get something like this, you have a little precondition that you never knew about or you did know about, but shit hit the fan so you didn't have time to address it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? This here's an abscess. Any little minor dental issue you have could be expedited tenfold. You're going to need some sort of attention to this because, man, I'll tell you, if anybody out there knows the pain, agony that your mouth can endure, you know I ain't bullshitting. I mean, this can take you out of the game. And how are you going to address it? Have you thought about this? This will bring any man down. I was going to say down to his knees, but not like that, people. Not like that. This will absolutely, um, this can give you headaches. It can give you vision issues. It'll immobilize you. The desperation that your mindset would be, it'll leave you vulnerable to weakness in every aspect in a survival situation. You'll be in so much pain, and it's right in your mouth, which is your head. It just leaves all these nerve endings. You can't do nothing. You cannot continue to survive with the excruciating pain, not to mention an abscess, some sort of infection associated with this. The pain is excruciating. Even a toothache, all you're going to think about is that toothache. So, what do you do about this? I mean, this topic, I mean, it could just go on for hours and hours. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. Not to mention, I'm not the expert on this at all. So, what needs to be done about this is getting books, dentistry books, survival dentistry books that's associated with like prepping type situations or otherwise, you know, something that you don't need professional tools. I mean, this is a game changer if you have some of these literatures in your stash, in your bug out bag. It teach you about extractions, filling your cavities with. I mean, there's lots of remedies and stuff like that that you can use at home to tie you over until you get medical dental treatment. You know, I remember growing up, said, "Oh, stick a piece of bread in there or whatever," and that'll tie you over for a little bit for like a cavity or something like that. But that's only going to last so long. You're going to need to address that. Now, in the old days, before they had any, what you know today is adequate attention by a medical doctor or a dentist, you know, you're not going to have that option when shit hits the fan. You're going to need to learn and have some of this knowledge readily available to you. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot more issues than what you had. So, the pain is one thing. Either you accumulated some of this pain medication that is limited on the time frame before those expire, but you have a bit. You need some sort of pain medication. And then it goes back to learning primitive pain medication that you find out there in the wild, and there's plenty of it. See, this is why I can't just sit there and go over all this. But there is medicinal pain medication that's natural that grows out in the wild. So it's very important, people, man. I mean, imagine you eat some, man, and I mean, 'cause you don't have the option of sitting there keeping your mouth clean like you would at home. You know, you ain't got that option. It relies on books and stuff to give you some insight because, man, you're not going to remember all this stuff, right? You're going to need to get your supplies together. You're going to need to get some literature that can point you in the right direction, show you what tools you need. There's varieties of tools that you can use. I mean, in the old days, they did it themselves. Or if they did have some sort of dentist, it was just as good as doing it yourself with just, a little bit of knowledge. But like I said, in the old days, um, you know, it wasn't pretty. But you have to do what you have to do. You have to know how to drain an abscess. You have to know how to treat an oral infection. And a lot of that you could do through, you drain the infection. And like I said, don't quote me on this. I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just saying this stuff that I looked up. This is the route I'd go, and kill that infection with um, natural plant type medication, or even peroxide, even alcohol. That's what they used for a lot of their antibiotics back in the day before they had actual antibiotics. I mean, alcohol was one of the main uh, medicines they had back then, you know, over 100 years ago. So you want to do your own research on that and find out what suits you and stuff like that. But I mean, imagine it was pretty painful back in them days. So yeah, and toothaches, that's painful enough, let alone an abscess. As soon as the abscess leaks into your bloodstream, you're in a heap of shit. They really didn't have all these pain medications. They just sipped on some kind of whiskey or whatever the hell they done, you know, and that was it. They didn't really have Novocaine and stuff. So take that consideration, man. I suggest any prepper to get some sort of kit to have in your bug out bag. Just like a medical kit, have a dentistry kit. Have a hygiene kit. Keep your mouth clean. There's many different kinds. I mean, you have a regular medical kit, then you have like a trauma surgical medical kit. Well, you should have something similar for a dentist kit, especially something to yank out of the tooth, man, because you're not going to be able to treat um, all these different types of dental issues, but you do your research. The more you learn, the better you're off, right? So get some tools, especially these bad boys right here. Yank one of them out your head. Ugh. Treating tooth pain it's nothing to look forward to, but man, I'm telling you, man, absolute pain. This person right here got scurvy. Now, most of you know what scurvy is. Scurvy is a disease from being vitamin C deficient. So it's a vitamin C deficiency, ascorbic acid. It causes all kinds of shit. I mean, this is just from a lack of vitamin C. It can cause loosened teeth, soreness in your arms and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it goes that deep. Bleeding under the skin. It even decreased red blood cells in your body. I mean, it's that bad. It is very detrimental that you guys and everybody have some sort of backup plan in case your mouth, your teeth, gums go in a negative direction. I mean, like I said before, I mean, everybody knows there's you can get like pine needles and stuff like that. That stuff is packed with vitamin C. You can brew it as tea. You can chew on it. You could actually even brush your teeth and gums with the wad pine needles. Very concentrated in vitamin C. So, having the right tools, having a couple books that teaches you how to deal with survival emergency dentistry procedures. It'll also tell you what types of tools you will need. So that's an added bonus to that. I mean, it'll go through pain, it'll go through infection, what you could do about it, abscess, toothache, scurvy, cavities, extractions. Otherwise, it's going to take you out of the game. It's very important to keep hygiene up in your mouth in a survival situation. It's beyond cosmetic. It's pretty detrimental to your health and your livelihood. So I would definitely consider, hell, beyond consider, I'd definitely get what you need for this. You talk about medication, antibiotics, antiseptic, hygiene stuff. Because under them teeth, what's under them teeth is full of nerves. And that's what's going to take you out of the game. The nerves, and then, of course, the infection. And you're in a survival situation, how you can keep your mouth clean? All the water's dirty. All the water has bacteria and parasites and shit like that. Again, you got to keep up on learning procedures how to purify water. And this is a prime example of that, as well as lacerations and other cuts and scrapes and stuff that you would normally address wounds with. You have to keep up on that. So that's basically it for this one. I just wanted to go over a topic, a situation that everybody should be aware of and take into consideration, because you're not seeing it much anywhere else. It's very detrimental to a survival situation. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. So, yep, that's basically I got. Just want to bring that to a point. So please like, share, subscribe. New World Order Survival Guy. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.